The billionaire had closed billion-dollar deals without hesitation. But the night he stopped his car for a homeless woman shaking under a bridge, his hands trembled. Rain hammered against the windshield as Nathaniel Crowe stared through the glass, his breath slow, controlled. Yet his heart betrayed him. "Stop the car." The words escaped his mouth before logic could stop them. The driver glanced in the mirror. "Sir, now." The SUV slowed beside the bridge. Nathaniel didn't wait. He stepped out into the rain, the cold biting through his coat as water soaked his shoes. Ahead of him, barely illuminated by a flickering streetlight, sat the woman. She was curled against the concrete pillar like she was trying to disappear into it. Thin, still, shaking. Cars rushed past them, headlights slicing through the rain, none slowing down, none caring. Nathaniel approached cautiously. "Miss." No answer. He knelt a few feet away. Her lips were pale. Her hands trembled uncontrollably as they clutched a torn blanket. A cardboard sign lay beside her, soggy and unreadable. "You can't stay here," he said. Her eyes snapped open. Fear surged instantly as she scrambled backward. "I'm not begging," she said quickly. "I don't want money. Please just go." That wasn't what he expected. "I'm not here to hurt you," Nathaniel replied, lowering his voice. "You're freezing." She laughed weakly. Wouldn't be the first time. Something about her tone, flat, resigned, hit him harder than any accusation ever had. "Get in the car," he said. She shook her head immediately. "No, I'll take you somewhere warm." "No." He studied her more closely now. Beneath the grime and exhaustion was something else. Intelligence, pride, a quiet strength that refused to break. "You don't trust me," he said. "I trust no one," she replied. "Fair. My name is Nathaniel," he said after a pause. "I won't touch you. I won't ask you for anything. But if you stay here tonight, you won't survive." The rain intensified, drumming against the concrete like a countdown. Seconds passed. Finally, she whispered, "One ride. That's it." She climbed into the back seat, pressing herself as far from him as possible. As Nathaniel shut the door and returned to the driver's seat, he didn't know it yet, but this decision had already rewritten his life. They drove in silence. The city blurred by, neon reflections streaking across wet asphalt. He glanced at her in the mirror. She stared out the window, jaw clenched, like she expected him to change his mind at any moment. "What's your name?" he asked gently. She hesitated. "Lena. Do you have family?" Her silence was answer enough. Nathaniel nodded, respecting the boundary. When the SUV stopped in front of a women's shelter, Lena's fingers tightened around the blanket. "This is it," he said. She looked at him, then really looked at him, and for a moment the walls around her cracked. "Why did you stop?" she asked. Nathaniel didn't have an answer. "I don't know," he said honestly. She stepped out into the rain and disappeared through the shelter doors. Nathaniel stayed there longer than necessary, watching the entrance like he expected her to come back. She didn't. That night, Nathaniel stood alone in his penthouse, staring out at the city he owned, but had never truly belonged to. Sleep never came. Her face haunted him, not as she was under the bridge, but the strength in her eyes when she said, "I trust no one." For the first time in years, the billionaire felt something unfamiliar. Regret. He told himself he'd done his part. He was wrong. Because the next morning, a decision he couldn't explain pulled him back toward the shelter. And that was when he discovered the truth about Lena. A truth that would shake his world, challenge his heart, and expose wounds he thought were long buried. Nathaniel stood across the street from the shelter long after sunrise. He told himself it was curiosity, a sense of unfinished business. Nothing more. The truth was harder to admit. He hadn't slept. Finally, he crossed the street. Inside, the shelter smelled of disinfectant and cheap coffee. A tired woman behind the front desk looked up warily. "I brought someone here last night," Nathaniel said. "A woman named Lena. She checked out early," the woman replied. "Didn't say where she was going." As he turned to leave, a voice stopped him. She doesn't stay long anywhere. An older woman sat near the wall, wrapped in a thick sweater. She's been coming and going for months, she said. Always polite. Never asks for more than she needs. Those words followed him all the way back to his office. For days, Nathaniel tried to return to normal. Board meetings, conference calls, billion-dollar contracts. But something had shifted. That night, he made a decision he'd never made before. He asked his security team to find her. They found her 2 days later. She was volunteering at a soup kitchen. Nathaniel watched as Lena moved between tables, smiling softly, alive in a way she hadn't been under the bridge. When he approached, she stiffened. "You followed me. I wanted to make sure you were okay. That wasn't the deal." "You're right. I'm sorry." They sat outside with plastic cups of coffee. "I used to have a life," she said. She told him everything, her sister, the cancer, the debt, the loss. "People help until it's inconvenient," she said. "I don't want your pity." "You don't have it," Nathaniel replied. "You have my respect." That was the moment something changed. They didn't become friends overnight, but they kept meeting. Coffee became conversations. Conversations became walks. "You think wealth makes you safe," Lena said once. "It just gives you better hiding places." Nathaniel offered her a job. Not charity. A real position. She signed. The press exploded. Billionaire employs former homeless woman. Lena ignored the headlines. Nathaniel read them all, and didn't care. Months passed. Their bond deepened into something neither expected. One night, Lena said quietly, "I was invisible before you stopped that car." Nathaniel realized the truth. He wasn't afraid of losing money. He was afraid of losing her. Then the scandal broke. An article exposed his past, the wife he lost, the child who never lived. It implied Lena was a replacement, a symbol. Lena read it alone. She didn't answer his calls. When he finally found her, she asked one question. "Was I a project?" "No." "Then why does it feel like I was bought?" For the first time since the bridge, she walked away. And Nathaniel understood something devastating. He hadn't saved her. She had saved him. And now he might lose her forever. Love had found him, and the world was determined to tear it apart. Lena didn't disappear. She just stepped out of Nathaniel's world. For the first time since the night under the bridge, she chose distance. Not because she was afraid, but because she finally had the strength to protect herself. Nathaniel stood alone in his penthouse long after she walked away. The city spread out beneath him like a kingdom that suddenly felt useless. He replayed her words again and again. Was I a project? The question hurt because it struck dangerously close to his deepest fear, that everything he touched eventually became transactional. For days he tried to reach her. She didn't respond. No calls. No messages. No forwarded emails. And for the first time in his adult life, Nathaniel Crowe had no leverage. The board noticed his distraction. "Your foundation is under scrutiny," one executive warned. "The press is framing this as emotional misconduct." Another added, "If you don't distance yourself, it could affect shareholder confidence." Nathaniel listened quietly. Then he stood. "I won't distance myself from someone I care about," he said calmly. The room went silent. "You're asking us to risk billions," someone said. Nathaniel nodded. Yes, that was the moment they realized something had changed. Lena, meanwhile, returned to the one place that had never judged her, the community center. She poured herself into work, helping women who were where she'd once been. But no matter how busy she stayed, Nathaniel's absence echoed loudly. Not because she missed his money, because she missed the man who listened, the man who never tried to fix her pain, only understand it. One evening, as she locked up the center, she found an envelope taped to the door. No logo, no signature, just her name. Inside was a handwritten letter. "Lena, I won't chase you. I won't explain myself with excuses or grand gestures. I only want you to know this. I never helped you to feel better about myself. I stopped that night because I saw strength where the world saw nothing. You didn't rebuild my image. You rebuilt my heart. If you never want to see me again, I'll accept that. But if you do, I'll be waiting without power, without conditions. Lena sat on the steps for a long time after reading it. For the first time, she understood something clearly. Nathaniel wasn't trying to save her anymore. He was choosing her. The decision didn't come easily. Trust never does. But a week later, Lena showed up at the one place she knew he'd be. Not the office, not the penthouse, the bridge. Nathaniel stood there alone, staring at the spot where she'd once been curled against the cold concrete. "I thought you'd never come," he said without turning. "I thought you'd moved on," she replied. He faced her then, no suit, no armor, just a man standing bare in the truth. "I would've," he said softly, "if that's what you needed." She stepped closer. "I needed to know you'd choose me even if it cost you." He met her eyes. "It already has." They didn't rush. They rebuilt, slowly, carefully, honestly. The press never stopped speculating, but Nathaniel stopped responding. Instead, he made a decision that shocked everyone. He stepped down as CEO, not because he was forced, because he wanted to. He redirected his energy into the foundation, this time led by Lena, not as a symbol, as a leader. And for the first time, the work wasn't about legacy. It was about people. The backlash came anyway. A former partner sued. An old enemy leaked private files. The media painted Lena as a manipulator. She read the headlines in silence. Nathaniel found her packing one night. "I won't let them destroy you," she said. He gently took the box from her hands. "You don't have to survive anymore." He went public the next day. Not with lawyers, with truth. He spoke about his late wife, the child he never got to raise, the years he spent hiding behind wealth. "And Lena," he said into the cameras, "didn't save me because she needed me. She saved me because she didn't." The world listened. Some mocked him. Others believed him. But Lena heard what mattered most. The proposal wasn't extravagant. No cameras. No ring worth millions. Just Nathaniel on one knee in the small apartment they now shared. "I don't want to rescue you," he said. "I want to walk with you." She didn't answer right away. Then she smiled. Yes, they married quietly. No celebrities. No headlines. Just people whose lives they'd touched sitting side by side. As Lena walked down the aisle, she caught Nathaniel's eye and remembered the bridge, the cold, the fear, the moment everything changed. He had thought he was saving her, but standing there now, she knew the truth. She had saved him from a life without meaning. If the story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because sometimes the greatest transformations begin with a single act of kindness. He rescued a homeless woman, but she gave him a life worth living.